Hello and happy Sunday. Thanks for joining me for our latest weekly snippet from my upcoming book, How's That Working For You When You Are Your Own Obstacle. Tonight I want to give you just a little bit of some inside background on with the book as far as the journey towards this book, because it's been a journey since about 2017 as far as me working on writing it. And the book has evolved from many different positions, I guess you can say, from a personal standpoint to where it is today and what you all will see once it's published. So one of the things when I was working on the book, as far as to get the book to the publisher, was a prologue. And in the prologue was basically just a little bit of the background to how the story got there. So I'm going to share with you that prologue, which is actually not going to be in the book, but just to give you some of the inside and behind the scenes insight into the journey of this story. Lifelong student and lifelong employee. I've always considered myself a lifelong learner because I vehemently felt that there is so much to learn that no one can ever really understand or know it all. But observing what you can during the journey has always excited and inspired me. Whether it was learning to write, learning to play my electronic keyboard, learning the words and instrumental beat to my favorite tunes, learning to create a computer program on my first computer, which was the Commodore 64 at 8 years old. Learning has been a passion and constant for me. First, many summers were spent at the library combing slowly through the many aisles of the library's science fiction section. Later, psychology and English grammar books, nonfiction, romance novels, short story journal articles, and even lyrics to songs. As I became old enough to work, doing babysitting or odd jobs, my interest became more focused on helping others and further harnessing my creative writing through journaling, writing poetry, and songs. When I was officially able to obtain a work permit at 15 years old in Brooklyn, New York, I began my first official job as a cashier at McDonald's. So naturally, I read anything that I was given to read from cover to cover, sometimes more than once, particularly if it was a procedure guide or a manual. As I studied and worked, I began to find myself steering more and more away from the things that interested me. Instead, I found myself attempting to anticipate where there might be a need and I could help fill it. I also told people that I respected what I thought they wanted to hear rather than what I honestly felt. Often I minimized a skill or interest that I had because I wanted to keep things on an even keel or did not want to say or do the wrong thing that might upset or offend another. Moving around every few years growing up had fueled some of this, and even sometimes dispersed into me laughing, as well as sometimes making others laugh, even at my own expense, to ease my discomfort, especially in social situations. I began a path of self-deprecation to face head-on my awkwardness at not looking like everyone else because I was always considered tall for a girl. I was a tomboy, and I preferred climbing trees. Most of my Barbie dolls ended up with mohawks. During my teenage years, I began to read to learn how to be a girl. Sometimes I watched television to get a better idea, but it shot my confidence because I didn't look like the girls in the magazines or on television. I was tall, full lips, high cheekbones, full apple cheeks. Body dimensions were awkward because I had a large frame, and people often even asked me, "Do you play basketball?" I played basketball and softball, but fell out of my element, and it became work to try to learn the rules, deal with the aggression, and do something that I was not fully invested in being part of. Although some sports like wrestling, boxing, soccer, and tennis, I really enjoyed watching those. I would rather be somewhere writing a new poem or short story, reading a book, riding my bike, or climbing a tree. Anything to not have to potentially have high emotions over something that seemed so trivial to me. Sometimes I would get the courage to see situations that I was in that I did not feel that I needed to be in. I quit playing basketball my freshman year of high school so that I could join the school newspaper. Oftentimes I was met with disappointment or it was time to move. The introvert in me went back to things that I could do that were not interrupted by moving or being a people's pleasure: journaling, learning, and work. Knowledge and work became more and more equal passions for me, often feeding into my love of the other. As I learned about a new job, I learned about the organization and how to be the best I could be for the organizational mission and helping others. This meant reading any literature that I could to help me better understand from a big picture perspective. If I had questions, I would be mindful of whom to ask and when, so that I did not seem like I was trying to outshine anyone. The more I learned, the more I wanted to do and be, leading to increased responsibility. This made me nervous because I had a growing fear of failure. I did not want to disappoint anyone, but I also felt that some might want me to fail or not think that I could do the job. This was the beginning of my becoming my own obstacle in life. Fortunately, along the way, I encountered many blessings that helped smooth the path. It may not have seemed like it in the midst of the moment or even soon after. In reflection, in order to get out of my way as my own obstacle, I had to acknowledge it in order to start the first step. So thanks for joining. Thanks for listening in. Again, just a little behind the scenes on the insight into the book and how it came to be part of it. Look forward to seeing you all next time and appreciate you stopping by and hope you have a great evening. So not goodbye, but bye for now. See y'all later.